What's up guys, it's Medic here, and today we're going to review the Aqua Reboot RTA from Footoon. Let's check it out. So we've still got it in this little wrapper here. Let's go ahead and take it out of the wrapper first, and then we'll take a look at the box. So here's the box. I'm assuming that this is the front Aqua Reboot RTA. Apparently this piece of metal here that has, it's just hardware, has nicotine in it, because that's a thing. This talks about the airflow, which we're definitely going to get into later. Neat little authenticity sticker, and it's like super shiny. Feel the airflow. Says it holds 4.3 milliliters of juice, and it says an A10 size drip tip, but from everything that I've read online, I think it means 810, and it's just a typo on the box that has literally never been fixed. And apparently it's been quality control passed. Does this mean it's blue? That would be pretty sweet, actually. I'm excited now, because I thought it was a silver one. And then the other side has like some little cartoon guy and the Footoon signature logo thing. It says a bunch of stuff there. This is made in Korea. All right, let's go ahead, and I think it just slides out, maybe. Oh, there it is. Let's slide this through. Oh, yeah, right on. I love surprises. I thought that I was getting a silver one, and then it was right up until we looked at the bottom and I realized it was blue. So I'm pretty stoked right now that we've got a blue one. So it looks like we've got a piece of glass right here. I don't want to be that guy that breaks it, so let me carefully pull that out. So it looks like we've got glass here just in the wrapper. So that's pretty nice that it comes with an extra glass. I'm actually finding that there's quite a few tanks out there that are like starting to not come with extra glass. The heck is wrong with you? Like, what? Extra glass? Like, I feel like that needs to be a must. Let's go ahead and try to get this out. I literally have no clue how to get this out. Oh, there we go. There's a hole right in the box. Whoa. All right, got that out. This is some weird little foam pad. We'll get to this in a second. Let's see what else is in here. And we've got some extra O-rings. Neat little tool, and looks like some extra nuts in there. That's it for the box. All right, so here's our tank. First thing that I notice is the drip tip looks funky on the top, and looking at the bottom, our airflow seems to be like this tiny little like pin thing, not like a turn base, which I feel like most things are. When I turn it, I can't really show you in the camera, but when I turn it, you don't see like any airflow things turning in here. So we'll see how that is. That's probably on the box, it was showing us that airflow thing on the box. So we'll investigate that more in the future. Let's take a look at this drip tip. Okay. Oh, that's pretty nice. Okay, so this sits in here. So it looks like juice. If it leaks, it'll go in there. But I don't really know why this is like this. I feel like you could have just gone with a regular. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Is that like a top? How would you describe that? Would you call it like a top hat design or something? Let me see if one of my other tips fit on this. All right, so I got a few other drip tips here. So first thing I'm gonna do is try this one. And so this doesn't, there's like an O-ring in here, but it's not a big one, and my drip tip has no O-rings on it. It doesn't sit, I can't really show you. It doesn't sit all the way in. Let me try this. So it doesn't sit all the way in, and that O-ring doesn't hold it at all. So these don't work for me. I do have a 510 adapter, which is also useless. That also won't stay in there. So I will only be able to use their drip tip. So that kind of is a bummer. All right, we got the drip tip off. Let's go ahead and unscrew this guy. I'm gonna unscrew the bottom. Oh, that unscrewed really easily. All right, feels smooth, coming right off. Okay, here's our post. Let's go ahead and let's look at the rest of the tank first, because I know we're gonna get into that. Here's the glass. Kind of wiggles out a little bit, it looks like. Mine looks like it's stuck. Like right up here, it looks like it's gunked up or something. Oh. This is coming off. Let's take this off. There we go. So that O-ring is sticking a bit. I like to always take my stuff apart and seat my O-rings my way so that I know that they're in correctly, because sometimes when these are getting put together, they slip. So this is a weird, I mean, it looks smooth, I guess, very, and it looks like the paint just kind of, they stopped spraying it, I guess, you know? So it's not all, I mean, it is what it is. The whole thing's not sprayed. Here's a logo right here. It looks pretty nice. And this is one solid piece. Here we go. This unscrews here. So that had like it was a little rough unscrewing it at first. Big kidney shapes to fill up, and there's an O-ring right in there, and we'll get more into that in a little bit. Let's take a look at this right here. So I guess the way the airflow works is, remember we were talking about how you turned this and I didn't see anything move, but the box showed some design. See how that opens up in the bottom? And that's how your air comes in and comes through here. And I don't see any other areas because your glass would go right here. So these are your only two air holes right here. So when you close that off, that's how you're restricting your airflow, like that. So that's interesting. I can't say I've seen that design on too many other things, but I also have never used an RTA, so I've got limited experience in them. Nice and shiny, clean on the bottom, right on. And this is an adjustable pin. And so I guess they went with this design is supposed to be the positive post, has like a heat pipes. You would see those. I'm a computer geek. And these are the kind of things you would see on computer components to help dissipate heat as air blows over it more. Let's grab our tool and take a look at these pins. Go. Tool goes right in and it spins pretty nicely. Now this is going to have to be, these posts are going to have to share your leads on each side. That comes out pretty smoothly too, so I'm going to get that pulled out and ready. Right on. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and put our top part back together. I'm going to put this on my Raider Mage, and let's go ahead and get some coils on this. They're in. They glow up pretty evenly. They're not too far off the sides, so let's go ahead and wick this thing up. We got it wicked up. I think I did it right. There's plenty of room still in there. The cotton's down, but there's still plenty of room in it, so it should be able to soak up pretty well. I'm still really excited to try this, but man, that was harder to build in than I thought it was going to be. It's probably me. So let's juice this sucker up. Today we're gonna use, we got this in our vape box this month. This is the Bazooka Sour Straws. 0 milligram nic. And this is a 70-30 mix, so let's juice it up. I'm at 50% airflow, and that's still quite a bit. All right, so I don't even know what editing's gonna look like right now. So I wicked it, and I don't exactly know what I did. I may have had the airflow all the way open when I did. I'm not exactly sure what, but basically I filled it up. I put my top on, and I went to take my first hit, and everything just poured all over me. So I had to like quickly stop recording, run to my bathroom. I've got juice all over my lap and stuff. My shirt is like covered in juice. So I don't know exactly what I did. So I re-wicked it. I did it with more cotton, a little bit more cotton in it, and I also made sure my airflow was completely closed when I filled it. I don't remember what it was before. I may have played around with it and left it open, so I'm not sure. So this time I was super conscientious of it being totally closed when I did it. And it's so hot in this room right now, so that's like my air conditioner's on and stuff, so I'm not sure how audio is, but I'm rambling. Let's I just took a couple of hits. It seemed okay. It doesn't look like it's leaking right now, so I'm not sure what I did. But seems to be hitting okay. Pretty good flavor. I've never tried this juice before. Again, we're doing the Bazooka Sour Straws. Tastes pretty good, nice and sour. Personally, I don't like a lot of airflow, and I have this very, very closed off, almost all the way closed off, and it's still, because it's an 810 and the airflow is still pretty open in there. It's got a lot of airflow, and I just don't really like that, but that's me. That's a me thing. Some people do like it very open. Pretty good flavor though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play around with it, and in about a week I'll do some like magic trick, and we'll be back, and I'm going to let you know if I like it or if I don't like it. Again, I'm new to RTAs, so if I don't like it, it's probably a me thing anyway, but I will let you guys know what I think. So let's enjoy this for a week. It's like magic or something. So I've been using this for about a week now, and I'm gonna say I learned this is not for the novice user. Now, I would say I'm still kind of a fairly new vapor. I'm learning lots as I go, so for my first RTA, this was a learning experience for me. And I want to talk about some of the things that I've learned. So one of the things that I want to talk about is this leaks like a son of a gun. However, I am pretty sure it is my fault. It's an operator error thing. So I can't show you because it's full right now. However, remember we talked about the way that the pressure and the airflow works? See how they talk about the airflow on the box? Well, this basically opens up right next to where the coils, the wick comes down, the airflow comes up. And this basically closes off the container. And think of it as like a pressure chamber, but like a negative pressure chamber when you vape out of it, right? The problem that I had initially was I would close off my airflow, I would screw this down, fill this up, screw on my top, and then I would slowly open up my airflow, and this would just leak everywhere. I mean, almost at one point the other day, I had like half the tank leak out on me. I just couldn't stop it. And then I started to realize, I was like, well, hey, after I open it, if I start to just pull air on it and start to remove some of the pressure, it seems to leak less. So if I did nothing, it would just leak half the tank. Half the tank would just leak right out of it, right? So then I learned, I was like, well, if I start to rip on it without even actually vaping on it, just pulling air out of it, it would start to create a negative pressure in the tank, and it would slow or even stop the leak coming out. So then I went one step further, and I decided to see if it was screwing the cap down, and I believe that's what it is when I screw the cap down, I create positive pressure in there because I screw pressure into it, right? And then I open up the airflow. It has pressure built into it. The air is going to push the liquid down, and it's going to fill right in and right out the airflow. So the next couple of times that I went ahead and filled this thing, what I did was I filled it up, screwed my top on, flipped it upside down, left it upside down for just long enough to make sure all the air went to the top and all the vape juice went to the bottom. Because once this is on, it's not going to leak, right? Then after it was upside down and all the juice was down, I slowly opened up my airflow and allowed that pressure to rebalance out to more of a neutral pressure, right? Because when I screwed it on, I created positive pressure in there. Let the air out, close the airflow again, flip it back over, vape on it a little bit, pull on it a little bit to now make it into a negative pressure, slowly open the airflow, vape on it, and that created negative pressure. So it went from being positive pressure to neutral to negative pressure. This is again my guess on what's occurring. However, since doing that, and it's not as complicated as I'm making it seem. Literally, I would just fill it, close it, turn it upside down, wait a second, open my airflow, close my airflow, flip it back over, pull on it a few times, open my airflow. I like it at 50%. I'd open it 50%, and I was good to go. No leaks. Have not had a leak since. Nice and clear, nice and clean. Haven't had a leak since. Operator error, I guess. So that's what I learned from it. So if you have one of these tanks and you've experienced anything like this, or you're probably just smarter than me and you never experienced it, it's all right. Shoot a comment down below. Let me know. Did you learn the same way that I did? Did you just learn from me? That sucks. But let me know what you think about that. We're gonna talk pros and cons. I like to do the cons first and get them out of the way, right? Really, the main con that I could find on this is as I made for a novice. And I don't even know if I can necessarily call that a con, because I don't know if I would call an RTA something for a new guy, right? I feel like RTAs are starting to get into that more enthusiast, you know, not the person who just kind of wants a cheap, simple vape, right? Someone who gets an RTA is somebody who wants to fiddle and tinker with it. So I don't know if it's fair to call that a con, but that's what I didn't like about it. I'm simple. It's my fault I didn't like that, right? The other con that I do want to note, and I think I showed it earlier in the build, is that it is a pretty tight build. Because of the way the cap has to screw on and the way that it screws over the coils, you do kind of have to use some small coils, and I did have to fiddle around with a few different types of coils before I finally found the right build that fit for me. But once you find it and you got the right coils, I mean, it's pretty good. It's just finding the right coils. It's a tight build. However, after complaining about these little things, I've got to say, flavor is good. It holds a lot of juice. When you do it right, it doesn't leak. So you get the flavor. I feel like you get the flavor of an RTA. You get the amount of juice of a tank. And really that's what it is. It's the best of both worlds. This is one of my new favorites right here. I get to just chuck along with it and I get to get ton of flavor with it. To me, now that I know how to use this the right way, I like this over squonking because I feel like no matter what or how I do it, I make a mess with my squonk. However, now that I know how to use this the right way and I'm not leaking, I dig this, man. I dig this RTA. I mean, I can rip some fat clouds with it, so if you like clouds, you can get that. Get the right coils in there, put the right amount of cotton in there, you can do it, man. And flavor. I am a flavor chaser. I want flavor over anything else. Give me the biggest cloud in the world with no flavor, and you got nothing. I go stand outside on a cold day and make some clouds, right? But I want flavor. When I rip one of these, I want to be eating that apple. I want to be eating that crispy treat. I want to be soaking that watermelon, right? I like flavor. You're gonna get flavor with this, and because it's nice and filled up with juice, if you wick it right, you're not gonna get those dry hits. You're not gonna forget to re-drip on your dripper, right? You're just gonna look at it, be like, I've got some juice in here, and you're gonna rip it. And man, are you, the flavor on this is amazing. Probably, I mean, I can't even say probably, this is my new favorite tank right here. I get the flavor like an RDA. I get the juice filled up in it like a tank. I don't have to keep dripping. I can rip away at this. It's amazing. I like this tank. I'm looking forward to more RTAs, but I'm telling you, for my first RTA, after the learning curve, it's great. I'm digging it. Alright guys, that's my opinion on the Aqua Reboot. Do you have this? Do you have this particular RTA? Do you have other RTAs? Let me know. What RTA should I look into if I thought that this was too complicated? If you're on the fence about getting this and you're interested in an RTA and you don't mind fiddling around with getting the right build in it, this is for you, man. Great flavor, holds a lot of juice, and it can truck along. I'm happy with this. And in case you've been living in a cave for a really long time, I actually got this RTA in my monthly subscription box from Vapebox. Why don't you hit my affiliate link down below and take a look at it? They have an enthusiast plan. $60 a month gets you 4 bottles of e-juice and a piece of hardware. Our first box in August, we got the Aqua Reboot RTA and 4 bottles of juice. I'm good for the month, but the trick is I order a second box too. Check out Vapebox. Hit my link down below. Hopefully you guys like this review. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Check my links down below. Find my Facebook group. Check me out on Instagram. Trust me, I am way weirder in real life than I am on video. And leave some feedback below. Let me know what you guys think about the videos and about the reviews. What should I do different? What could I improve on? Should I just shut the face cam off? G-Medic, what you got there? Find the Facebook group. We're currently giving away a Smock Stick Prince baby. So if you want a chance at this, hurry up and get in that Facebook group. You could have a chance. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm gonna see you guys next week.